Hi, and thank you for joining us today on Road to Recovery. I'm your host, Ronda Jackson, serial entrepreneur, small business advocate. Thank you for back to the Road to Recovery. For those of you that aren't familiar with the show, this is where we talk all things business, all things procurement, and all things growth. And today's guest, Miss Ashley Mistler from High Speed Rail. She's the small business advocate. Welcome, Ashley.
Thank you, Rhonda. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you for joining us. This is a conversation about, getting in, acquiring certification. We have other segments on contracting, other segments on marketing. So I'm just happy to have you and that your willingness to share the knowledge with us. So, but for those who aren't as familiar with you or the High Speed Rail, do you mind telling us a little bit about yourself and your agency?
Yes, sure. So like I said, I'm so great to be here. My name is Ashley Mistler, and I am the small business advocate for High Speed Rail Authority. So basically, the authority is tasked with planning, designing, and constructing the first high-speed rail system in the nation. So this is huge. This is one of the largest infrastructure projects in the country. Our small business program was developed to provide small businesses, disadvantaged business enterprises, and disabled veteran business enterprises the guidance and tools needed to participate on the HSR project. My area is oversight and advocacy, which means education, outreach, and any supportive services that may be out there for small businesses. The important thing to note is that small businesses play a major role here at HSRA. We've been successful in putting many to work and actually helping them grow here in California to the point where they're no longer small businesses. So that's something to be super proud of.
That's huge. And for emerging and established entrepreneurs that are looking for pivots through industry and diversifying service and client base, this is a huge, huge opportunity. So thank you again for being here. And as you know, one of the ways I like to start the show is to ask the guests for one word they would use to describe now. What would your one word be?
A word kept coming to my mind: synergy. And when we think about synergy, we kind of want to talk about the things, our people coming together and producing something so great. And that's, I think, a driving point for High Speed Rail because, like I said, this is something that's never been done before. I mean, in other countries, yes, but not here in the United States of America, and to be part of this great project.
Very much so. So we're building business and building legacy. These are historical times right now, right? Historical times. So the growth, I think that's one of the reasons why I stay so excited about bringing and delivering messaging like this to established and emerging entrepreneurs is because the possibilities are limitless, that there's lots of opportunities out there. And one of the avenues to creating those synergies and to accessing those possibilities is through certification. So that was one of the things that we said that we were going to talk about today. So first of all, where do we start? Are there different types of certifications? Are there different avenues? Like, where do we start? What's the first step for High Speed Rail certification?
So getting certified is the first step in hopping aboard HSRA contract opportunities. High Speed Rail is not a certifying agency. So in order to gain certification, in order to be eligible for these projects, you can register with Department of General Services, the CACP or CUCP program, which is the California Unified Certification Program, and the Small Business Administration.
Okay, so I know, so I'm certified by several of those organizations. Just for clarification, certification is not mandatory to participate in procurement opportunities with High Speed Rail, or preferred but not mandatory, correct?
No, it is mandatory. You have to be certified as let me take a step back. You have to be certified to get that credit as a small business, right?
I understand.
So, and that's our goal, is to obviously hit that. So let me take a step back. High Speed Rail has this very aggressive goal of 30% small business participation.
Okay.
That includes 10%, that 30% is inclusive of a 10% DBE participation goal and a 3% DVBE goal.
Okay.
So in any type of iteration, it has to come up equal 30% to meet our goals for the year. And so we're a little bit higher than the standard, but we have to set the bar high. We want to be successful and obviously get these small business to boost them up in the business world.
No, I'm all about rising up the food chain. So yes, that would be lovely. So you recognize small, disadvantaged, and veteran-owned businesses.
Yes, also women-owned businesses, businesses,
Okay.
all these, there's anything that's little out there. But as far as being certified, those are the three that we want to focus on.
Okay, so we will actually have links to your site, to the small business portal, to get more information for those that need it. And I'll put that in the description box below. You guys know where that is. It's right below that little red subscribe button. So if you haven't done so already, please do that. All right, so we are diverse in the capacity to what we can be certified in. And then I heard you say that there are third-party certifying agencies that we need to get proof of that certification done through, whether it's the CUPC or the I know there's WeBank, SBA. There is also the
Department of General Services, which
Department of
is
General Services, and that's for your SBE. That's probably the easiest one to get. So
that's the easy press.
yeah, that's probably the easy one. So again, I'll put links to the different certifying agencies in there. So
Wonderful.
then once we have our links, once we have our certifying process, which by the way, just for point of reference, some of the certifying agencies are quick, like the DGS. Others there's a process to it. So it could take up to 90 to 120 days. So I'm just wanting the emerging and established entrepreneurs that are listening in to be aware of that.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So then what happens next? So then we have the types where there's the third party certification, and then what?
So once you're certified, the important things I want to probably highlight is it's up to the business, right? So you need to check your marketing, your branding, your business cards, make sure that everything's up to date, that it's current. You have a statement of qualifications, an SOQ that represents all the great things your company does. You want to make sure that you're advertising publicly. And in these times, social media is a huge way for small businesses to miss opportunities. And so once their name is out there and it's in mainstream, the more avenues, the better.
Yes.
Being available to connect through all these various media outlets, it's going to be a great way to get your business name and your services out there so that you can network and you can work with other large firms that are in the same trade or same line of work.
Yes. So, I mean, you actually, so if we could go back just a little bit, because I love how you've kind of given us all these points of entry, because a lot of departments and agencies don't have as many. So there are opportunities where once we're certified, we qualify and we're able to fit within that 30% goal and hopefully, help you guys attain that goal for your projects. But what I hear you saying are there are also opportunities to either partner or subcontract with some of the other larger primes that are on a project.
Yes. Yes. And
And
that's
then,
huge. That's huge. That's a huge part of it. Like there's a large company and they might hire a subprime to do the work that they can't do or that they're trying to hit that goal on. So they were awarded a contract and they are committing to that 30% goal that we have. And let's say they can't do the work because they're not a small business, but they can subcontract that work out to a small business, and that will help them to meet that goal and that and what we're requiring them in their contract.
okay, so and I'll use myself as the example. So there might be a large infrastructure contractor that is tasked with laying the asphalt or putting down, pouring concrete or something like that. And if that concrete scope has in it to paint or stripe or line, they then could subcontract to me the painting portion of their contract, which hopefully would equal. Now, does that individual contract have to achieve the 30% or any contribution towards that number?
It's any contribution towards that number. So it's the prime's responsibility to hit that number, right? And
Okay.
so you are helping them hit that number, being a small business and hired on the contract to do that work.
So as a single small business, my contribution might be 10% of the 30% that they're required to do another sub, and collectively.
Yeah, it might not just be it might be a service or a product. It might be something in the business office. It might be, another type of product that they're offering. Doesn't necessarily have to be the on the ground, laying the pavement, doing the paint. There's other things that can be achieved by hitting that small business goal by that prime, as long as their awarded bid includes that, right? Everything is written into the contract. So you have to abide by the contract. That's the number one rule.
I love it. But I also like how you're introducing us as small businesses, how we can participate, because I would look at a multi-million dollar contract and go, yeah, they're not talking to me. But but to look at that as smaller incremental opportunities that can be produced from those opportunities is really great. Now, Cal eProcure is the source where we would do our registration. Can you tell us a little bit more about how just overall how the website works?
So as a small business, micro business, at DBE, DVBE, Cali Procure is where is your first stop, right? That's where you want to register what your business does. That's where you want to fill out your business profile and select whatever codes that pertain, working codes that pertain to what your company has to offer. So Department of General Services uses the UNSPSC. That's the code set that's used to capture what your business does. So are you a consultant? There's a code for that. Or do you do pavement? There's a code for that. So it's very important when you're filling out your profile to select the appropriate codes. And I always say better is more. So it's kind of like a parent-child relationship. So there's a high level, very high level, like everything cement. And then it goes down to the very nitty gritty. Like, I create barriers, but it's always better to go high, because that if you're at the higher part of the umbrella, you're going to get everything else that trickles below that high level.
Okay.
And so it's a great way to make sure that you're notified on any solicitations or events that come up and that are advertised, because that is where we will be advertising all of our solicitations, they're called events now, but all of our events.
Okay.
In the state of California.
No, I love it. Okay. So we have some homework. So I don't know. I want to just break this out into the little increments that you have graciously bestowed on us, all these gems. So first and foremost is that you're saying be seen, get heard, get certified, right? So
network.
Right, network. So I'm hearing that loud and clear. Then you're also saying that once we're in there to register our businesses, to put it into the portal so that not only the notification we can get alerts on, but also other people are able to find us, right? So we'd be able we'd be in a searchable database. And then thirdly is that the importance of third-party certification. So I remember the process of proving that I am a Black woman and all of the things that they ask you for to prove it, and it's beyond skin color. So just know there's a very thorough process to establishing the various diversity requirements. So if there was one thing out of all the discussion today, if there was one thing that you would advise every emerging and established entrepreneur within the sound of our voices to do today, what would that one thing be?
To be knowledgeable, to know what resources are available out there. And if you aren't sure, and if you do have questions, to reach out to us. We are a great our goal is to meet that 30% goal. And it's the driving force. It's the reason I have my job. So if you reach out to us, we're going to provide you with everything that you need to do and get you to where you need to go in order to be able to be a bidder on these these contracting possibilities. It's so important. We actually have another outlet on our website, on our High Speed Rel account, our website, that talks about vendor registration. So once you're certified and you have all these things and you're registered with all these certifying agencies, we have it's Connect HSR. So it's another great way for your business to stay in the loop and connect to HSR. And for more information, you can always visit our website, which is connecthsr.com. Mm-hmm. And registration's simple. It can take as little as 5 to 20 minutes to complete. It's free. It'll contain a database of registered prime firms that are working on the project.
Okay.
It'll also set up notifications to any procurement opportunities that come available. So similar to Cali Procure on DGS, but more down to the granular level, what's going on in HSR shop.
Yes. And then I just want to quantify this conversation and please tell me if I'm misspeaking. This is 30% of billions with a B. Not millions, billions with a B.
Yes.
So I'm going to let the audience do the math on their own, but know that there is quite a nice chunk of opportunities. And I'm only doing that to quantify the opportunities that, if someone goes away with a single $1 million contract, big picture, there is plenty of opportunity for us as diverse businesses.
I think that's great that you touch on that. And, a lot of times small businesses, they're intimidated. Like, I mean, I would be intimidated as a small business if I was to go bid on a $1 billion contract. What am I going to get? But you never know until you put your feet out in the water and you test it. Like, there could be money that's coming your way, and there could be something that we want, that we can tap into. One of your great resources is that we might not be able to find with a prime, that
Yeah.
it would be better fit for a sub, and it also would help us meet our goal, which is something that we're so passionate about. And we're so passionate about helping small businesses. That's what's so great about being in my role.
No, I love you. Thank you for sharing with us today, Ashley. This has
Oh,
been
definitely.
wonderful. And I hope that everyone is excited as I am, because I am going online when we finish here. Uh, and for those of you, again, if you've missed any portion of this, go back, replay it. There were several steps: certification, registration, 2 different websites, by the way. And all of the links will be down below. I just want to thank you again, Ashley, for being here with us today on the road to recovery, and
Thank
appreciate
you.
your time. No, you're welcome.
Definitely. Thank you for having us.